You guys will never believe the surprise that I just received in my DMs on Instagram. So our guy Bootbill5353 writes in. He says, "Stop talking about Miami, retard, before you end up dead." Wow. I listen. I keep trying to warn you, Miami fans, about Mario Cristobal, but y'all continue to be denial about him. He is not a good head coach. Just because Miami went 10-3 doesn't mean that Miami had a great season. Miami underachieved relative to what the expectations were, which were to make it to the ACC championship and to make it to the college football playoffs. You're not always what your record says you are. Miami was not a 10-3 team if you take Cam Ward off the squad. They were a 10-3 team because Cam Ward was carrying a team that was led by poor coaching on defense and that head coach. Mario Cristobal's bad late game management costed Miami against Georgia Tech and Syracuse. His bad hire at defensive coordinator led to Miami wasting the greatest quarterback that ever played for this program. Cam Ward is a more talented quarterback than anybody that's ever played for the Miami Hurricanes. Vinny Testaverde, Jim Kelly, whoever, like none of those guys had the season that Cam Ward just did. Cam Ward broke all of Miami's single season passing records. So Cam Ward, if you remove him off last year's squad, Miami's probably a 6-7 win team at best. Because against Virginia Tech, Cal, Duke, who was carrying Miami in those games? Cam Ward. Cam Ward had to be flawless for Miami to win. And that's why they eventually didn't make it to the playoffs. Because he fumbled away the game against Syracuse, but I'm not mad at him for it. You know, he's just trying to make a play because he has to do so much when you got to carry the team on your back due to incompetent coaching. I mean, you're going to have some mistakes. For Mario Cristobal, this season, he has to get the Hurricanes to the playoffs. It is playoffs or bust in 2025 for Miami. You're going to get tested with the brutal schedule that you have coming up. You have Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame rolling into town week 1. They were just in the national championship game. That's going to be a big test for Mario. Can he beat an elite head coach? Can he beat Florida again at home? Can he lead Miami to the ACC title? Can he truly revive Miami football? The expectations in Miami were never to win 10 games last year, in my opinion. The expectations were to win the ACC title. Clemson made it to the college football playoffs, and they were not that good last season. They lost to South Carolina the final game of the regular season and still got in because Miami blessed them with Miami having a head coach that just sucks at managing late game situations. You know, thank Mario Cristobal, if you're a Clemson fan, for your appearance in the first ever 12-team college football playoff. You know, the just DM me a death threat because you can't handle the truth about Mario Cristobal. okay. Okay. Like, listen, I can be a fan and still be negative if I feel strongly about something. And I really believe that Miami would have been in the ACC championship game last year. And I've seen too many coaches have more success at programs with less resources than what Miami has with Mario Cristobal. But everybody just wants to make excuses for the points I want to bring up. They want to say you don't know football just because you don't share the same opinion they have. Like, the thing with me is that I don't call anybody an idiot for how they feel. You feel me? Now, I may say that you're in denial, and if I'm wrong, I got no problem coming on here and being wrong, like I've done so many times. And I've admitted when I've been wrong. I was wrong about Florida last year. I was right about Florida State. You know, I was right about Miami. I had Miami finishing 10-2, but I still thought they would have won the ACC championship, I still thought they could have made it to the college football playoffs. You know, like all season long, I was telling my homies, I'm not buying the hype too much. You know, this team is going to go as far as what Cam Ward can take it, and he took it far enough until the straw finally broke the hump on the camel's back to the point where he couldn't do it anymore. You know, Miami, I just don't feel confident about this program under Mario Cristobal's coaching. I got to see it to believe it this year. This is the season for Mario Cristobal to shut me the F up. But until then, I'm going to continue to give my unbiased opinion on the situation. And I would think that you guys would respect that. You feel me? I would think that people would appreciate the fact that I can keep it real and I just don't spew you the same overly optimistic nonsense that we've been hearing about this program ever since the early 2000s. Like, the glory days look over right now. And I've had years when I drunk the Kool-Aid on Miami, and I've been burnt bad. Last year, I was drinking it so much, and only because of Cam Ward. And the biggest concern I had about Miami ended up being the biggest pitfall of last year's season, that being Mario Cristobal. I'm sorry if y'all feel so strongly about Mario Cristobal that you believe in him to the point where I upset you so much that you're sending me death threats. You feel me? It's just, at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. You feel me? I ain't trying to harp on Mario Cristobal as a person. You feel me? This is just a job. And to blow up on this platform or to have some success, having cookie cutter content where you're just trying to be neutral isn't going to cut it. When I try to be neutral about Miami, people make me pick a side anyway for me in the comment section. No. You feel me? So at this point, even if I do try to be neutral, y'all still force me to pick a side anyway. So I might as well just say how I feel. And it's like, I did have Miami going 10-2, and y'all act like I don't keep it real. You know, I do know how to come on here and take my hits when I'm wrong, and I got no problem doing it. But I just don't see it with Mario Cristobal. I don't see it. I thought Manny Diaz would have worked out. I thought Mark Richt had the program going in the right direction until, you know, the end of, you know, how that second season went. And Malik Rozier and N'Kosi Perry were playing musical chairs at the QB position the year after. You know, it's just the same rinse, wash, and repeat cycle with the Miami Hurricanes. But this was just so funny to me. This is the second time over the last 2 months I've received a death threat from a fan. The last one I got was from a Texas fan for picking Georgia to dog them in the SEC championship again, and that happened. And when I hit him up, he was nowhere to be found. He blocked me. How you going to send me a death threat, and then when I hit you up again after your team loses, you block me? Social media is a crazy world. Crazy.